All right, welcome back. Today, we are diving deep into some incredible new research that's uncovered a hidden world of, well, microscopic superheroes living right under our feet. And they just might change everything about how we grow our food. You're not going to want to miss this.
Just think about that for a second. What if we could grow the exact same amount of food with the same nutrition, but slash our use of one of the most expensive and critical things in farming? Look, this isn't some sci-fi fantasy. It's the very real possibility at the heart of the science we're going to break down today.
So to really get why this is such a game changer, we first need to wrap our heads around a really fundamental problem in agriculture. It's something you could call the phosphorus paradox.
Okay, first things first. Phosphorus is, quite literally, life. It's a core building block in the DNA of every single living thing on this planet. Plants, animals, you name it. Without phosphorus, there's no growth, there's no energy. It's completely non-negotiable. And because it's so absolutely vital, you can see why modern farming is completely hooked on it. We pour massive, massive amounts of phosphorus fertilizer onto our fields to make sure our crops have what they need to feed all of us.
But here's where it gets weird. This is the paradox. A farmer's field can be absolutely loaded with phosphorus, but the plants in that field can still be starving for it. How is that possible? Well, in a lot of soils, that phosphorus gets chemically handcuffed to other minerals, like calcium. It's there, but it's locked up tight. It's like having a pantry that's full to the ceiling with canned food, but you don't have a can opener. The food is there, but you just can't get to it.
So the food is locked away, but what if nature already invented the can opener? Well, it turns out it did. And these natural can openers are the tiny heroes of our story.
Meet our heroes, phosphate-solubilizing bacteria, or PSB for short. These little guys have evolved to do the one thing our plants can't. They create these special compounds that basically pick the chemical locks, breaking that phosphorus free and serving it up for the plants to use. They are, literally, nature's can openers.
Okay, so this is where the story gets really interesting. Scientists knew these PSB existed, but they started asking a really smart question.
Right? Are all these tiny can openers the same? Are some of them way better at the job than others? And if they are, what makes them so special? This question led to a brilliant natural experiment. The researchers set up this awesome scientific showdown. They went out and found bacteria from two totally different spots: soil that was naturally really poor in phosphorus and soil that was super rich in it. You can think of it like the scrappy underdogs who've had to hustle for every single meal versus their cousins who grew up with a pantry that was always full. The hypothesis was that the bacteria that evolved in that tough, nutrient-poor environment would be way, way better at scavenging for food. And when they put these two groups head-to-head in the lab, well, the results were just crystal clear. The underdogs didn't just win, they totally dominated, and they showed everyone exactly how they did it. And you can see it right here in the data. The bacteria from those tough, low-phosphorus soils, the scrappy ones, were just significantly better at dissolving that locked-up phosphorus. They were consistently outperforming their cousins from the rich soil. So the big question was, what was their secret? It turns out their secret weapon is this super potent cocktail of organic acids. They're like tiny chemists pumping out things like malic acid and citric acid, which are amazing at dissolving those mineral bonds that lock the phosphorus away. It's like they're flooding the zone with their own custom-made can-opening liquid. And this is the key insight right here. It's all about an evolutionary trade-off. As the researchers put it, these bacteria from poor soils put all of their energy into one thing: acquiring resources. They became expert miners because they had to. They don't waste energy on other stuff like making growth hormones. They have perfected one job and one job only: find the phosphorus. Okay, so this is all great in a petri dish, right? But does it actually work in the real world? Can these little superstars actually help a real crop grow? That, of course, led to the ultimate test. The scientists set up this really smart experiment with wheat in a greenhouse. They had 3 setups. Group 1 got the full 100% recommended dose of phosphorus fertilizer. Group 2 got a lot less, only 70%. And then there was Group 3. They also got that reduced 70% dose, but their seeds were coated with our all-star bacteria from the tough neighborhood. And the results? Honestly, they are just astonishing. Look at this. The wheat with only 70% fertilizer, yeah, it had a lower yield, just like you'd expect. But the wheat that also got 70% fertilizer plus our bacterial helpers, its grain yield was statistically identical to the group that got the full 100% fertilizer dose.
The bacteria completely made up for that missing 30%. Incredible.
And this is the magic number that explains how. The bacteria boosted the plant's phosphorus use efficiency by almost 32%. That means for every bit of fertilizer that was available, the plant was able to grab and use nearly a third more of it, all thanks to its microscopic partners. Absolutely nothing went to waste.
And that's why the authors conclude that this research clearly shows the incredible potential these bacteria have to help us slash our dependence on chemical fertilizers, making our farms way more sustainable and efficient.
So, let's zoom out. What does all this really mean? What's the big picture? Well, it's pointing to what could be a tiny but absolutely massive revolution for farming.
The takeaways here are just profound. We've learned that nature forges experts in the toughest conditions. And if we can find these elite, underdog microbes, we can create a whole new generation of smart biofertilizers. These are living, natural supplements that work with the crop. Instead of just dumping more chemicals onto a field, we can use a targeted, natural solution that unlocks the potential that's already there.
And it just leaves you with this one kind of amazing thought, doesn't it? For so long, we've looked at chemistry and big industry to solve our farming problems. But maybe, just maybe, the most powerful and sustainable answers have been here the whole time, waiting patiently in the soil, right under our feet. Thanks for joining me.